Hello. Welcome to the green chair. All right. I'm Chuck, the bass player, and I have a solo set of just bass, nothing else. Direct into my Ampeg system behind me on my back line. So that's about it. I'm just going to do some playing. I have 4 pieces that are basically, I know I've explained this before, but I'll do it again for those who haven't seen my past work. I take song parts, what I call song skeletons, and some of them end up in songs for August Theory or other pieces that I release through August Theory. Some of it just stays as bass solo. Some of it's, totally, different timing signatures and way out there, So I don't form some of the patterns into songs because I just hadn't found lyrics and guitar work that goes with it, So it just stays as bass solo piece, That's really the explanation of it. So got my 1960 USAP bass here all fired up and ready to go. So I've got a Ampeg. It's a rocket bass 210 combo, which is 250 watts by itself with a 210 eminence. And when I hook it up to my PF 115 Portaflex flip top, say that all in one sentence, it turns into 500 watts RMS solid state Ampeg preamp power. So basically, I mean, it's yeah. I was at the casino show last week, and I couldn't even turn it up all the way. So I mean, there's plenty of power in this system. It's not quite as warm as the SVT. It won't crank out like an SVT, but it's basically one step down from an SVT, and it sounds excellent. So especially with a P bass, sounds good with my Ibanez 6-string too. Actually, my 6-string bass. I just have to kind of change the controls a little bit. Turn the volume down a little bit because there's so much output with an active bass. I don't prefer active basses. I like vintage. I like that thick mud. That's my thing. I'm a classic rock guy. Hard rock, classic rock. It's a little blues and funk. But let's get this started. Now this is going to be no frills, no visual effects, no lights. I'm just sitting here with my bass. So I'm just going to let it rip with these 4 pieces. And again, there's amalgamations, so some of the turnarounds don't really make songwriter musical sense, if that makes any sense to you all. I just put them together in that framework because it worked at the time. So anyways, here we go. All right, let me think of my tempo because I don't have the E-drummer hooked up. So that means I'm going to have to count. It's always nice to count and chew gum at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. Now that one requires me for some Diet Coke. You know, DC diet, no sugar. I'm diabetic, unfortunately. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next piece. Okay, that's not it. I'm wandering. I'm wandering. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I got to think of the tempo again because I don't have Mr. E drummer helping me. So, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's set now. Thanks for hanging around for my madness as always. And when I grab my Les Paul, all kinds of things happen, and I can't really explain it all, but like why it happens or how much of it, or the theoretical context is always, of course, there. I mean, you have to be playing the parts properly and know your neck, but as far as the creative side of it, it just comes out of the cosmos, man, and channels through me. So I have no idea where it comes from, but it's in here, through here. You know what I'm saying? That's about the only way I can explain it. So, all right. So I'm getting a lot of clunking in my pickups, so I'm going to lower this pickup a little bit. My split coil, it's just a little bit too much clunkiness. When I dig into it, it should clunk a little bit, but it's clunking a little too much. I just did some adjustments on this last night, so just a little too much clunkiness there. I just lower it just a little bit. I did a little basic pro setup on it. Got my string height adjustments good. Installed my plates, my covers. I don't use this one much. It's more for looks. It does look really cool, but I like to have access to the entire attack area. You know what I'm saying? The cover, I can't rest my thumb on the pickup, and that's where I am most of the time. You can see the wear mark right here. That's where I work most of the time to get my accents and my sounds. So I leave the pickup cover off, and I just leave the tailpiece on, and that thing is rugged. It's a cool chrome accent. I don't know. It's a traditional vintage P-bass look and jazz bass. I think the jazz bass version is a little longer, and it has an F on it, a Fender F, depending on which year it is. But all right, so let me just make sure. Got my little Fender clip-on tuner. I'm pretty sure I'm in. I'm just curious because I just did a setup on it last night and make sure we're all staying. Remember, these are reverse tuners on these vintage basses, so you're actually going in the opposite direction than you would on any other normal non-vintage instrument. In, 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 in. How about that? Perfect. Perfect. But oops, I think it disappeared. But yeah, so I mean, I did a little bit of a neck adjustment, just a slight quarter turn, not even a quarter turn, just to increase the neck bow a little bit, just a little bit. Be careful, when you're cranking on these things, don't go too far because you can ruin your truss rod inside, and then you're screwed. You might as well just get a new neck or get a whole new instrument, because once a neck is no good, then yeah, be careful when you're messing around with your instruments. To my musician friends out there, yes, I usually use a setup guy. I have a tech down in Williston, but he's so busy right now that it's weeks of turnover. I don't want to wait that long, so I just make some adjustments myself, and I'm doing pretty good. I just got to get myself a little machine shop gauge so that I can get my string height adjustments, off my pickup, my 4-ply tortoiseshell pickup guard here, or pickup guard, and get my string height adjustments, to factory spec, and then I'll probably have to do another neck adjustment, but it's pretty good the way it is. I don't want to mess with it too much, If it ain't broke, don't fix it, so to speak. But I just wanted to give a little neck relief because the neck was really flat when I looked on it. You want just a little bit of neck bow, and I stress the word little. You don't want it severe, just a little bit, what they call concave, and then you want your strings convex, form like a hump, so that's adjusted by your bridge. You make the middle 2 strings up just a little bit higher than the outside, the E and the G. And if it's a 5 or 6 string, obviously the B. 6 string would be the B and the high C. Depends on what type of instrument you have. That's all I did to the Ibanez. I just did all I had to do was raise the strings up a little bit. It was just a little bit of, that's got a really flat neck on it, and it's huge. It's a huge flat neck, so I just raise the strings up, just maybe I don't know, 32nd of an inch, just a little bit, just very little, and it was perfect. Now it's fine. Everything's sustaining good. That's another thing, is everybody has their own preference every player, whether it's guitar, bass, or whatever, um, stringed instruments, for what they like for relief. I like a little bit higher of an action. I don't like it really flat, just because I can get way more sustain on the notes, especially up on the 12th fret area. And that's just me. Some guys like it really flat, really low. I don't like that. I like a high action, not really high, but a little higher than normal, maybe a 16th of an inch higher than normal, something like that. If I had to do machine shop, I'd have to give you an exact number, but what I prefer. That's why I'm going to get one of those little gauges so I can check exactly what I'm doing. The gauge doesn't lie, but your eye can. But I just eye it in right now. But yeah, I'll get one of those gauges. Like, what is it, like $5 at a hardware store or something? $10 or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna get one of those, and then I can just do my own thing. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about relying on a tech for setup all the time. My Les Paul is a different story. I don't set up guitars much. I mean, I can change strings, maybe make a slight bridge adjustment or something. That's it. I've never gotten into guitars much. It is a little different. There's a little more to it, although it's the same concept. A little relief, a little bit of neck bow. I'm just not sure of the parameters with that. I'd have to study into it more. But since I'm a professional bassist, not a professional guitarist, I don't really worry about it. If I can lose my guitar for a couple weeks to a setup guy because they're busy, that's okay. This I cannot lose for 2 weeks. Shows coming up, and with the band and everything. So, all right. So, mid set. Thank you for hanging around. Got a couple more pieces to present. Let's get going, shall we? That's not it. So. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Vermont bass players. Okay. Final piece. All good things must come to an end. And again, thank you all for joining me for my solo bass madness and unleashing the madness right here for all of you. And let's get the last piece going, and then I'll close you out. Be sure to check out my SoundCloud. Be sure to check out my Facebook Lives, my YouTube channel, just under Chuck Rice. Be sure to check out Paradox, the band I'm currently playing in. We're out there on the Northern Vermont and New York circuit just about every weekend. So this week coming up, we're playing in Plattsburgh area, so Plattsburgh, New York. So check out the Paradox Rocks, ROX Facebook page, and the shows all get announced on there from our admins and the booking manager, and so we all kind of share everything around with the advertising and stuff. So be sure to check that out. We have a phenomenal lead singer, Kim Chase, and they've added myself to the lineup. And in a short amount of time, I had to learn a lot of material. So come on out, folks. Bring your people out with you and hit the dance floor, because we will definitely be lighting up every stage we perform on. So thanks for joining me, and let's get the last song on its way.